Good evening, Professor Fraya Frehse from University of Sao Paulo, Brazil, and welcome you to the Institute Research Day of IIT Roorkee, which happens to be also a commemoration of Albert Einstein's birth anniversary today, a historic day indeed to inspire all researchers. As part of the celebrations and the G20 panel on research, we are convening a conversation of which the key idea is R&D, the research and development transformations, a perspective towards sustainability. So Professor Fraya, being a sociologist, anthropologist, and somebody who works very interdisciplinarity wise in various domains on homeless people, public spaces, urban sustainability, the key broad question to you is, how do you look at the world of research and development in times to come? And what would be the message for the Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, on this historic day?
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity, Professor Gaurav, and also I'm very happy to address these words to the community of IIT Roorkee. I would actually argue that sustainability is about indeed thinking of practices that may assure not only our survival and more than just survival, but our lives and living in this planet, but also the lives and survival of the generations to come. If this is an issue, so we are all, as researchers, we are all at the end of the day claimed to comply with trying to find out how people survive in the present and how people are to survive in the future. So at the end of the day, why am I addressing this issue to researchers? Because we have to think of how to come to this, how to address, how to attain this knowledge about the way people live and survive nowadays, and also in sustainable ways, thinking of the future. So at the end of the day is everything that we are requested to think about methods, about how do we attain this knowledge about how people live and survive nowadays, and also may survive and live in the future, and for this planet too. So to put it briefly, I think sustainability is a quest to us all to interact with the world, with the empirical world we live in as researchers, who we are, and to try to find out sustainable practices that are around us. And that's why the issue of method is so important, because we as researchers, we are requested to find ways to get in touch with sustainable practices that already exist in this world. Yes. So I, for example, Professor Gaurav, I work on homelessness, and as when I started working on this issue, which is a very complex, very difficult social issue in our days, and a global, urban global social issue of our present times, I found out that for example, in Sao Paulo, my city, that these people are involved in sustainable spatial practices, which we at first sight would not consider. No, it's impossible that these people have sustainable practice. They have, no? And we may also learn from them. So we as researchers, but for us to learn from them, and even, for example, to challenge social and also a research issue, which at first sight or offers or conveys the impression that there is nothing to be learned from these people. Yes, if we have method, if we think of how to address, and then you know, I've been working a lot, and this is also my invitation to you all who are watching this video. From tomorrow on, I'll be at the Department of Anthropology and Planning of IIT Roorkee, offering a workshop on ethnography for young researchers. So actually ethnography as a method to address everyday practices, spatial practices of people, in my case especially in public places. So I would say, Professor Gaurav, that in the world we live in, our biggest challenge as researchers is to really find ways. So method is path. It comes from the Greek, the word method. It's path, it's way. So to find out ways to interact and to learn and to turn the everyday knowledge we face in our everyday lives as researchers, and not only as researchers in our cities, to transform or to find out ways of making this knowledge be productive for example, urban sustainability.
Thank you. On that note, Professor Fraya, my next question primarily would be in orienting this knowledge system towards sustainability in the current digital technological age. What would be your recommendation for an educational system like ours, which is also, to brief you on the new education policy, intends to focus on a lot of interdisciplinarity in technical education. So how do you think would your take be in terms of the practices for teaching research, for conducting research, or in general for an academic future in this context?
And my impression is, I work, as you also mentioned in your introduction, I have been working a lot, and I love working into this in a interdisciplinary way, and also transdisciplinarily, if we consider transdisciplinarily or transdisciplinarity as trying to work to interact, to make academics interact with practitioners and so on, so to go beyond the walls of university. But I think my impression as someone who really works in and among and through borders, disciplinary borders, I would say that it's nevertheless important to know what is the specificity, the epistemic specificity of your discipline. So for example, you who are an architect, and I'm a sociologist, anthropologist, we exchange a lot. But I think we exchange a lot because both of us, or each of us, knows where we speak from, and then we can exchange, we can intermingle, we can interact. So I think interdisciplinarity depends. I would argue that disciplinarity depends on you knowing from where you are speaking and from where you are proposing this interdisciplinarity from.
Great. I think with those words, we must wrap this discussion here by thanking Professor Fraya for her valuable insights and time on this second Institute Research Day at IIT Roorkee. So we wish the audience all the best and a great time in researching the future. Thank you.
Thank you.